We're going to start today on our backs. Any comfortable laying down position is fine. Just get super comfortable on your mat. If for some reason laying on your back is not comfortable for you, you're also welcome to lay on your belly. Wherever you are, just settle in to your mat. Feel the ground, the full plane of support underneath your body. Bring your awareness to your skin, the boundary between yourself and the rest of the world. Noticing how your skin is feeling today, the temperature of the air around the body. Maybe the texture of the mat underneath you. Bring your awareness to your breath, feeling your chest rise and fall with each inhale, each exhale. Notice the temperature and the texture of your breath. Now start to deepen and lengthen each breath. And find your ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. If you're not feeling too stuffed up today, you can seal your lips and begin to breathe in and out of the nose. Imagine that you're making a sort of a ha sound with your lips closed, as if you're fogging up a mirror, constricting the back of the throat just a little bit so that you can start to hear your breath nice and loud inside your head, sounding like the ocean moving in and out. Focus on that sound of your breath, the sound of the ocean, allowing it to fill your mind and push away all other thoughts of the outside world, bringing your conscious thought, your focus fully into your body, inside your skin. Here and now, in this present moment, between the four corners of the mat. Start to do your body scan from the crown of your head, work your way through the back of the neck, into the shoulders, down the arms, to the elbows, wrists, and fingers, and then down your spine, into your hips, and through your legs, knees, ankles, and toes. As you go through each body part, just make a mental note of anything that feels off or sore today, and remind yourself of any injuries you have, old or new, so that you can take those things into account as you move through your practice today. Remember that every body is different. We each have our own unique genetic makeup and our own unique history, which means that every body looks different in every pose. And you should find your own practice today, doing what feels right for you, just making the practice your own. Take a few more deep, full breaths, just being inside of your body. Blink your eyes open. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a tight little ball. Squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Hands come to the kneecaps. Do some circles with the knees. Feel a nice massage on your lower back against the ground. And find circles going in the opposite direction. Release your arms out wide in a T and float your legs in a tabletop 90 degrees in the knees and hips. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, dropping the knees down together to the right, all the way to the floor, trying to keep that 90-degree angle in the knees and hips. Right fingers can tuck in the crease of the left knee. Gaze comes over to the left hand. Release your right hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center, breathing in. Exhale, dropping them down to the left. And bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Inhale, lifting your knees up to center. And then drop your feet down to the mat with the knees pointing straight up to the sky. Bringing the hands up, stretching out overhead. Let's make our way into bridge pose, 3 of them with the breath. Inhale, rooting down through the feet. Push your hips up to the sky, stretching out the belly. Exhale, back down to the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. 2 more times using your breath, inhaling to lift, pushing the hips up. Exhale, lowering down with control. Last one. Inhale, push the hips up, rooting down through the feet, steerly strong in the legs. Exhale, slowly release back down to the mat. Lift your feet up, tuck your fingers inside the creases of both knees, and then rock and roll forward and back along your spine a few times, making your way to a seat. easy pose. If you like, you can always sit on a block here. Sometimes raising up your hips just feels a little bit more comfortable on the legs. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine really long. Stretch your fingertips out in front of you. Round out through the back once you find your edge and relax your forehead down towards the ground. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Float your hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, stretching down towards the right. I'm just going to mirror you. So I'll be doing the opposite side. Walk your right fingertips out. Left arm comes arcing overhead like a rainbow. Don't worry about how far you get down here. Just feel it in the body, finding your own edge. On your next breath in, lift your hands back up to center. Exhale, stretching down to the left. Plant your left hand down. Walk your fingers out. Right arm comes arcing overhead. This side might feel really different from the other side. Maybe you can't go down as far. Maybe you can go down even farther on this side. On your next breath in, lift your hands back up to center. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Reach down and switch your legs. Push that front leg to the back. Back leg comes out in front. One more time, folding over the feet. Notice how it feels different this time with your legs crossed the opposite way. Inhale, hands up high. Exhale, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine really long. Walk your fingers out, find your edge, round through the back, and relax your forehead down. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest, bring your hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, twisting around to the right, right fingertips behind you, left hand crosses over the right knee. Take a deep breath in, stretching the spine up really long. Exhale, going deeper into your twist. Back to center, breathing in, hands float up. Exhale, twisting around to the left, fingers behind you, right hand crosses over the left knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, deeper into the twist, maybe bend your elbows. Come back up to center, breathing in, hands float up. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Release your hands down to your lap and then do some gentle circles with your neck. These can be big or little, moving faster or slower. Just listen to your body and do what feels right to you. And now find circles in the opposite direction. Bring your head back up to center and make your way to hands and knees tabletop. You can roll over your knees or swing the legs around to the side. Bring the wrists right below the shoulders. And then bring your knees together to touch. Step your right foot back behind you. Tuck your toes under. Push through the heel. You can do some pulses here, gently rocking back and forth, pushing through the heel and then releasing. Or if it feels good, you can just hold that foot back, stretching out the back of that leg. Step your right knee back down to the mat and reach your left foot back. Tuck the toes under, push through the heel. Again, you can find some pulses or just leave that foot pushed back, feeling the nice stretch on the back of the leg. And step your left knee back to the mat and go through cat cow, always moving with the breath. As you breathe in, drop your belly down towards the mat, roll the shoulders back, lift your head up. You can look forward, or maybe you can bring the gaze up. Exhale, pushing the spine up towards the ceiling, one vertebrae at a time, relaxing the head and neck down, gazing through the knees. Keep moving just like that, always going with the breath. Try to lengthen the breath. Stretch out your motions to match your breath so that your body is in a constant slow motion here. Feel every muscle moving together. Come back to a neutral spine on a breath in. Exhale to downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up. You can move around a little bit, pedaling out the legs, just getting the blood flowing through the legs and the hips. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are moving down the back, out of the ears. Fingers should be open nice and wide, pushing down through the pads, the ends of the fingers, and the curve at the bottom of the palm. You can have a little micro bend in your knuckles, like you're gripping the mat. Lift your right heel high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the right foot through between the hands, drop the left knee down to the mat, and rise up on an inhale to low lunge. You can lift your hands straight up, turning the pinkies in, or if you feel wobbly here, you can always drop your hands down to your knees. Find your balance, and then inhale, bringing the hands up. Interlace the fingers, pointers up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, gentle back bend, pushing the hips forward. Go really slow here. It's a balance challenge. Come straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, twisting around to the right. Open arm twist, send both arms out in either direction, forward and back. Gaze can be out towards the side wall, or maybe you can start to bring your gaze over the back arm. On your next breath in, lift your hands back up overhead. Exhale, release, planting your hands down, framing the front foot, and then sit back onto your left foot. You can find a block here underneath the right hip, or you can just sit back on that foot. Start to walk your hands forward, folding over the right leg. This is a really intense stretch. You might not be able to get down very far at all. Listen to your body. feel where you're noticing that stretch. I notice it a lot in the back of my right leg, but maybe you feel it in your back, your arms. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to lift up your chest. Come to stand up on that left knee, and then start to slide or scoot the right heel forward, coming towards the forward splits. You don't need to get all the way down or very far at all. Just listen to your body, find your edge. You can have some blocks here planted on either side of the leg underneath your hands. And gently bend and straighten the front knee. You can also just have your hands flat on the mat on either side of the leg. Move in and out of the pose really slowly, noticing where you feel this stretch. If you want to go deeper into the fold, you can bend your elbows back and lower down your chest. On your next breath in, lift your chest up, slide or scoot the right heel back and set the right foot down on the mat. Tuck the left toes under. Left knee pops up off the mat. Look forward. Take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, step the left foot up to the right, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathing out. Inhale to standing, bending the knees, unrolling the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Side stretch, inhale, hands high. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the right. Up to center, breathing in. And to the left as you breathe out. Inhale, straight up to center. Standing back bend. Exhale, cactus the arms or drop the hands down to the back pockets. Come straight back up on a breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest, keeping the spine really long, going down. Take a half as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out, plant your hands, hopper step back to your high plank. If you like, you can drop the knees down to the mat, lower down halfway, elbows tucked in, back up to breathe in. Exhale, halfway down again. Up dog or cobra on a breath in. If your legs are on the ground, keep the elbows bent. Exhale, tucking the toes, lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Let's try that sequence on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the left foot through between the hands. Drop the right knee down to the mat. And rise up on an inhale to low lunge. This side might feel really different. Maybe you can lift those hands straight up. Maybe you just want to drop them down. Take a moment to feel nice and stable. And then inhale, bringing the hands up. Interlace your fingers, pointers up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, gentle back bend, pushing the hips forward. Be really careful with the neck. Go nice and slow. Come straight back up as you breathe in. Exhale, twisting around to the left, opening out the arms, sending your arms straight out in either direction. You can keep your gaze out to the side, or maybe you can start to bring the gaze over the back shoulder. On your next inhale, lift your hands back up overhead. Exhale, release, planting your hands down, framing the front foot. Sit back onto the right foot. Again, you can find that block here underneath your left hip, or you can just set the block to the side and sit back on that right foot. Start to crawl your hands forward. Don't worry about getting down very far at all. This is a pretty intense stretch on the left leg. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Come to stand up on that right knee and slide or scoot the left heel forward. Once again, coming down into the forward splits. This side might feel really different from the other side. Maybe you can go down farther, maybe not quite as far. Gently bend and straighten that front knee, exploring the range of motion, feeling all the places where you feel that stretch. Hips, both legs. To go deeper, bend the elbows back, lower down the chest and the head and the neck. On your next breath in, lift your chest up. Slide or scoot the left heel back and set your left foot down on the mat. Tucking the right toes under, right knee pops up, look forward, take a big breath in. Exhale, stepping the right foot up to the left. Forward fold. Lift halfway up, breathing in, bringing the torso parallel to the ground. Forward fold as you breathe out, relaxing the upper body down. Inhale, rising to standing. Bend the knees, letting your arms and your head dangle down as you roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time, and then float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch again, this time to the left first. Inhale, hands high. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the left. Up to center to breathe in. And to the right as you breathe out. Inhale up to center. Standing back bend on your exhale. Come straight back up to breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, keeping the spine nice and long. Take your time going down. You can always have blocks here under your hands in a forward fold. Lift halfway up as you breathe in. And double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up dog or cobra on a breath in. For cobra, for up dog, the only things that are touching the ground are the tops of the feet and the hands. And downward facing dog on an exhale, rolling over the toes, lift your hips up. One last sun salutation, straight up and down, going with the breath. Bend the knees, look forward to the hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step right between your hands, forward fold. Half lift as you breathe in. Forward fold on your breath out. Rising up to standing, bending the knees, unrolling the spine, stacking the vertebrae, bringing the hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Straight back down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, diving forward, keeping the spine really long, hinging from the hips. Half lift as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. However you like it. You can always drop the knees down. Up dog or cobra to breathe in. Downward facing dog, exhale. Lift your right foot up high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders come right over the wrists. Foot goes back up, breathing in. Exhale, tapping the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, sending your right heel high. Exhale, cross it over, tap it to the left elbow. Straight back up. Big breath in. And step your foot through between your hands as you breathe out. Rising up on an inhale, make your way to crescent lunge. Both toes are pointing straight forward. Back heel's lifted, front knee is bent. Hips squared off towards the short end of the mat. Inhale, lifting the hands up and turn the pinkies in, pushing the shoulder blades down the back. We're going to flow here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee dip. Dip that left knee low. Cactus the arms. Maybe you can come into a gentle back bend. Crescent lunge as you breathe in. And open arm twist to the right as you breathe out. 2 more times, those 2 poses with the breath. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dipping the left knee down. Crescent lunge to breathe in. And open arm twist to the right as you breathe out. Last one, just going with the breath. Come back to crescent lunge on a breath in. Open out to warrior 2. On your exhale, pivoting the back foot around, opening out the hips toward the long edge of the mat. Stretching the arms straight out in either direction. Check on that front knee, make sure it's right over the ankle. Spine is centered directly over the hips. Crown of the head stretching straight up to the sky. Peek at the backhand and make sure it's nice and high. And then bring the gaze over the front middle finger. 5 yoga jumping jacks with your breath at your own pace. Inhale, knee straight, arms up. Exhale, slowly sinking back to warrior 2. Take your whole breath out to get there. 4 more. Don't worry about staying with me. I'm just counting so you know where I am. 3. Try to stretch out your breath. Stretch the motion out to match the breath. 2. And last one. Drop your hands to your hips, straighten out the front knee. Turn the right toes toward the long edge of the mat. Line up your feet with your pinky toe edges coming parallel to each other. Inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers. Push down, puff up your chest. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward on your exhale. Leading with the chest, keeping the spine really long. Find your edge. Relax your head and neck down and peel the arms off the back. Push up through your hands to keep the shoulders sliding down the back, out of the ears. Release your hands. Let your hands slide down your legs, coming to rest at any comfortable point. If you can reach all the way down to the feet, you can tuck your fingers underneath the pinky toe edges of the feet. Maybe you can even bend your elbows out to the side, bringing your chest even closer in to the legs. Release your hands. Bring both hands right underneath your face. Weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior 2. Take one more big breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Right heel goes up high on a breath in. Double dip chaturanga on your breath out. Up dog or cobra to breathe in. And downward facing dog on your exhale. Let's take a little rest here. Drop the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, push your hips back to your heels, and relax your forehead down. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness back to your skin. Notice once again how your skin is feeling. Maybe you've been sweating just a little bit and you notice some moisture on your skin. Maybe you can feel a slight breeze. Feel the texture of the mat underneath your fingers, your toes, and call attention to your breath. Stretch the breath out. Take a moment to find your way back to a deep, strong, full breath. Feel your back rising and falling with the breath. Your rib cage expanding out to the sides as you breathe in, and the gentle release of pressure on your exhale. Take a few more deep, full breaths here. Come into puppy pose. Lift your head up. Start to crawl your fingertips forward. Lifting the hips up. The hips can come right above the knees or just behind. Reach your chin or chest down towards the mat. Feel a nice gentle back bend here, stretching out the belly. On your next inhale, bring your hands back, lifting up your chest to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Let's do our warrior sequence on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders right over the wrists. Foot goes back up on a breath in. Exhale, tapping the left knee to the left elbow. Straight back up. Big breath in. Exhale, cross it over, tapping it to the right elbow. Go back up on a breath in. And step your left foot through between your hands as you breathe out, rising up on an inhale to crescent lunge. Both toes are pointing straight forward, hips squared off towards the short end of the mat. Back heel's lifted, front knee deep bend in it, right over the ankle. Hands are up, turn the pinkies in. Once again, we're going to flow here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, dipping the right knee towards the ground, cactus the arms. Maybe you can come into a gentle back bend. Straight back up to crescent lunge, breathing in. Exhale, open arm twist towards the left. 2 more times with the breath. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, knee dip. Crescent lunge to breathe in. Open arm twist, breathing out. Last one. Just go with your breath at your own pace. Back to crescent lunge on a breath in. Opening out to warrior two as you breathe out, pivoting the back foot around. Maybe you want to widen the stance here. Pushing that back foot back a little bit more. Front knee still right over the ankle. Arms stretching forward and back. Peek on the backhand, lifting it up nice and high. And bring the gaze over the front middle finger. 5 yoga jumping jacks with the breath. Inhale, knee straight, arms up. Exhale, sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more. Just go at your own pace. Let your breath be your guide. 3, 2, and last one. Straighten out the front knee, drop your hands to your hips, and turn the left toes toward the long edge of the mat. Once again, peeking down at the feet, line up your pinky toe edges so they're parallel to each other with the big toes ever so slightly turned inward. Pull your elbows towards each other behind your back. Puff up your chest. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Nice long spine as you go down. Once you find your edge, release your hands down to the ground, letting your head and neck just dangle down. If you like, you can adjust your feet here. And then start to crawl the fingertips forward, stretching out through the arms, the legs, and the back. Keep the shoulder blades moving down the back, towards the hips, out of the ears. Now walk your hands through your feet, fingertips pointing around so they're pointing in the opposite direction. And then see how far out behind you can comfortably crawl those fingers. Just find your own edge. Walk your hands back to center. Plant both hands right beneath your face. Weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Take one more big breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Send your left heel up high on a breath in. Double dip chaturanga. Breathing out, keep that left foot up or drop it down to the mat. Dog or cobra as you breathe in. Downward facing dog on your exhale. One more time, a short break, dropping the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes, push your hips back to your heels, and relax your forehead down. Close your eyes once again. Listen to your breath. Feel the breath moving through the body. Notice all the different body parts that are affected by the breath. You can feel it in your nose and your throat. You feel your back rising and falling, and the chest opening up, filling up with air. I can even feel the movement of my breath in my arms and legs. On your next breath in, lift your chest up to hands and knees tabletop. Exhale, tucking the toes under, lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hopper step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale to standing, bending the knees, unrolling the spine nice and slow. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Chair pose. Adjust your clothing as needed. For chair pose, you can either have your big toes touching with some space between the heels, or you can have your feet on two different train tracks. Today, we're just going to stay in our chair pose for a few breaths. Inhale, lifting the hands up. Exhale, sitting back into your chair. Bend your knees, push your hips down and back. Pull the shoulders down the back. Feel the crown of the head stretching up towards the sky. Wiggle your toes and make sure most of the weight's in the heels. And breathe. Chair pose is one of the yoga poses that if you hold it long enough, you start to shake just a little bit. That's really good for you. Means your muscles are working nice and hard. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release, folding forward. Relax everything down. Half lift on a breath in, lifting up the torso. Exhale, fold forward. Bring weight to your fingertips in front of your feet to heel, toe your feet out wide. Hand to foot pose, one at a time, lifting up your toes. Slide your hand underneath your foot so that the palm of the hand is facing the sole of the foot, and the toes are resting right in the crease of the wrist. Relax your head and neck down. You can bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands all the way underneath the feet. You can also bend one knee and straighten out the other leg. Get a little swaying motion going on. If it feels good, you can push your knees back towards straight. You never have to get all the way there. Just notice that nice stretch on the back of the legs. And if you want to come deeper into the fold, bend your elbows out to the side, bringing the chest closer in. Release your hands out from under your feet. Weight comes back to the fingers to heel to your feet. Back together again. Bend your knees. Inhale, rising up to standing nice and slow. Take your time. Float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Modified hand to big toe pose, the balancing pose. I'm going to mirror you, so I'll be doing the opposite side here. Bring all weight to your left foot. Lift your right knee up. Interlace your fingers outside of the knee. Just for a moment, stay right here. Check in with your hips. Sometimes in balancing poses, when we're standing on one foot, we have a tendency to push that hip from that standing leg out to the side. Keep the hips really in line with your body here. If this is enough, you can stay right here if you're already feeling a challenge. If you want a little bit more, bring your left hand to your hip and start to open out the right knee towards the right. If you like, you can also bring that left arm up to help with counterbalance. And if you're feeling really super flexible, you can grab the pinky toe edge of the right foot and open up that right foot all the way. Definitely going to want to bring that left arm up as well. Take one last big breath in here. Exhale, release, shake it all out. And let's try it on the other side. All weight comes to the right foot. Lift your left knee up. Interlace your fingers outside of the left knee. Check in with the hip. Straighten up the spine. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. You're welcome to stay right here if this already feels like a challenge. If you want a little bit more, bring your right hand to your hip and start to open out the left knee towards the left. Again, you can also lift that right arm up to help with counterbalance. And if you want to go even farther, straightening out the left leg, reach for the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Definitely lift that right arm up here. Extend the leg all the way. Take a one last big breath in. Exhale, release. Speak it all out. Bring your feet hip width distance apart. Big toe pose. Inhale, lifting the hands high. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine going down. One at a time, grab for your big toes. Middle finger, index finger, slide in between the big toe and the second toe. Wrap them underneath the big toe and lock them in place with a thumb. Once you've got both toes, let your head and neck relax down towards the ground. You can bend your elbows out to the side and bring your chest closer into the legs. Again, here you can bend your knees as much as you need to make sure you can grab onto those toes. And then bend and straighten one leg at a time. Find a little swaying motion. You can also find stillness here if that's what feels good. Nod your head yes. Take a deep breath in. Shake your head no. Breathe it out. One more time. Nod your head yes. Deep inhale. Shake your head no. Exhale. Release your hands from your feet. Weight comes to the fingers to heel to the feet back together again. Bend your knees. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Hands float up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Open out your feet about the width of your mat, the narrow width of the mat. Toes out, heels in, coming into Malasana, our deep squat. Inhale, lifting the hands up high. Exhale, sitting down into your squat. Push your hips down, bring your hands to heart center. Push the knees out with the elbows, stretching the spine up really, really tall. Take one more big breath in, sitting up even higher. Exhale, release. You can bring one hand in front of you, one hand behind you, and then make your way to a seat. Hands come behind you, fingers pointing towards the hips. Gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. And make your way onto your back. Another bridge pose. This time, bring your hands towards the feet. You can either have your hands next to your feet or with your middle fingers, just touching the backs of the heels. On a breath in, root down through the feet, lift your hips up. And then interlace your fingers underneath your back and try to scoot your shoulders even closer together to lift up even higher. Stay really strong in the legs, lifting those hips up, stretching out the belly. Take one last big breath and lift even higher. Exhale, release one vertebrae at a time, back down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forehead comes up to the knees, curling into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Happy baby pose. You can hold outside of the knees with the legs bent, or open up your feet, reach for the pinky toe edges of the feet, and pull the knees in towards the armpits. Try to push your tailbone back down flat on the mat. Gently rock side to side. You can straighten out one leg, bend the other knee, and trade back and forth like that a couple times if you like. And then release, making your way into Shavasana. Any comfortable laying down position is fine. Find the most comfortable position you can. Adjust your clothing. Lift your heart up and pull the shoulders down the back. Bring the chin into the chest. Rock the head side to side. Let your head fall back to its natural center point. Hands can be by your sides with your palms facing up or down, or you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly to feel your breath. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Release your body. Imagine you feel yourself melting into the ground, all the tension flowing out of you. Release your breath, making your way back to natural breathing. and release your mind. Just watch your thoughts come and go like birds in the treetop. You see them, you hear them tweeting away, and then they fly away and disappear to be replaced by something new. Find a few moments of stillness to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open and start to make your way back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. Namaste.